New South Wales Business Chamber wants the removal of weekend penalty rates in the restaurant and catering industry.
The Chamber says it's becoming too expensive for businesses to open on the weekends.
It's coming out now with an application to Fair Work Australia that would mean workers only receive a premium the sixth time they go to work, irrespective of what day it is. Well, joining us for more, New South Wales Business Chamber spokesperson Damien Kelly. Damien, is this a direct response to hard times in the restaurant industry? Just let's put it bluntly for what it is. We've seen plenty of high-profile names going to the wall. Is it too little, too late, though, because of that?
Well, we hope not, Carson. Good morning to you. What this is about is listening to our members and reflecting the needs of the modern society, and that there needs to be some flexibility in regards to penalty rates. And penalty rates are literally crippling industries across Australia, particularly those in retail and restaurant and catering that rely on lots of weekend and holiday trading.
Touch is the government, Damien, with the modern working world. I mean, who works 9 to 5 these days?
Well, that's exactly right. But of course, our Fair Work Act and the current system is one that doesn't reflect the modern society. Earlier this year, the New South Wales Business Chamber launched a thought leadership piece all about productivity and the Fair Work Act. And there are a number of conclusions drawn, primarily around that the Act is an adversarial and conflict-based system which doesn't assist modern employers, but also that it doesn't reflect modern society and modern times, and it's a real shame for a number of industries that are literally going to the wall.
Just interested, Damien, in your response to Myer Chief Executive Bernie Brooks's comments in relation to the possibility of closing some stores on a Sunday.
Well, look, that's something that we've been alluding to, ever since we launched our action, and we were very interested in what Bernie had to say in the press this morning, and what should be happening is alarm bells should be ringing right across the country, because not only will there be an impact on the staff of his retail chain, but those retail centres, Myer centres that are in the big shopping centres, if they then close down, what sort of a flow-on effect is that going to have to the cafes, the food courts and all the other stores that are around that? Myer are normally sort of anchor tenants in the big shopping centres, and that could have a devastating impact on a whole number of stores right across Australia.
So, Damien, why are you not, because of that, widening your call to take in that very same scenario? Why limit yourself just to the restaurant and the catering industries?
Well, to be honest, Carson, it was a case of small steps, and it was the restaurant and catering part of our membership that were very active in coming to us and saying, look, we have a really big problem here. The more we looked at it, the more we identified it as an issue, and particularly with restaurant and catering, the weekend trade and holiday trade is so strong for them. We really identified it as an issue. We had a number of leading restaurateurs coming to us and closing down on Sundays in particular, because it's actually more profitable for them to be closed than it is to be open and losing money.
All of that, you said it's the time for small steps, but you've also acknowledged this situation is crippling industry. Is it surely not the time for big, bold calls, not small steps?
Well, it's certainly big calls for the government is what's needed, but we started our action with the Fair Work review in the restaurant and catering industry in particular, but obviously now with the comments from the Myer CEO, it is a bigger issue, and it's growing all the time, and it has flow-on effects. And when we launched our action, we had the frothing at the mouth from the union movement saying we're trying to rip away hard-won benefits for the workers, but the point we'd actually make to them, and I think it's the same point that Bernie Brooks made, is that what would they rather? Would they rather have no pay at all? Because you've got to remember that casual staff, if a shop's closed, they don't get paid at all.
Tell us about the application. What is the timeline? What do you believe will happen next, and what must happen? You've put your application in. When do you hear back?
Well, look, there's been a number of steps, and the case will be re-mentioned in November this year, and we've gone away and
so
worked
what does it mean by re-mentioned?
Well, the review panel is going on into the Fair Work Act. It's a long process, and the review continues, and we've made a number of submissions through our legal team for various information, and they've asked for various case studies, which we're happy to provide with giving them real information, real cases right across New South Wales. It's not a a Sydney issue. In particular, regional areas with cafes are really feeling the impacts of penalty rates.
Okay, so this time next year, are we still going to be talking about this? Are they still going to be asking for more paperwork, or will they have resolved it one way or the other?
Oh, we are certainly hoping by this time next year a decision will be made and it will be resolved, because the Australian...
between now and then?
Beg your pardon?
How many businesses will close between now and then?
Well, that's exactly the point, Carson.
You know, but how many? Can you tell me that?
Well, we've had around 6,000 restaurants and cafes close in the last sort of 18 months right across Australia. Now, that's not all because of penalty rates. That's for a number of factors, but it is increasing, and it's a very real and worrying concern.
You've got to go, Damien. We wish you the best of luck. Come back, give us an outcome soon, please.
We'd love to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And just some breaking news there, quickly, briefly on the screen. New South Wales Treasurer confirming talks with China over bonds. So this is a step forward, obviously.
Yes.
Some more money coming in for the New South Wales government, looking to get some cash too. So much happening today. We have to move on.
That's what Janine Perra would say. Let's move on. Fortescue Metals shares in a trading